Our planet is a dynamic place full of awe-inspiring beauty and power, but within this beauty lies the potential for natural disasters. One such force is the landslide. Landslides, though often overlooked, can be devastating. Imagine a mountainside, stable for millennia, suddenly giving way. Tons of rock and earth cascade down the slopes with terrifying speed. This is the reality of a landslide, a natural disaster that can reshape landscapes and impact lives in an instant. Across the globe, landslides occur with alarming frequency, often triggered by various factors. Some are easily identifiable, like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Others are more subtle, like the gradual weakening of slopes due to heavy rainfall or human activities. Landslides in their simplest form are mass movements of rock, earth or debris down a slope. Imagine a child building a sandcastle on a beach. The steeper the sides, the more unstable the castle becomes. Eventually, the sand gives way, cascading down in a mini landslide. The Earth's surface, like the sandcastle, has areas of varying stability. When this stability is compromised, gravity takes over, resulting in a landslide. Water, for instance, is a major culprit. Heavy rainfall can saturate the ground, adding weight and reducing friction between soil particles. This makes the slope susceptible to collapse. Located in southern Ethiopia, the Gofa region paints a beautiful picture of rolling hills, fertile valleys, and a rich cultural heritage. However, beneath this picturesque facade lies a region grappling with a recurring threat: landslides. Gofa's landscape is characterized by steep slopes and deep gorges, carved over millennia by the erosive power of rivers and streams. While visually stunning, this topography increases the region's vulnerability to landslides. The steepness of the slopes means that even a small amount of soil displacement can quickly escalate into a major event. Gofa's soil is primarily composed of volcanic ash and loose sediments, which are highly susceptible to erosion and landslides. Especially when saturated with water, the region experiences distinct wet and dry seasons. The wet season, marked by heavy and often unpredictable rainfall, is when the risk of landslides is at its peak. This, combined with the steep slopes and loose soil, creates a perfect storm for landslides. The Gofa region, like many landslide-prone areas worldwide, faces a confluence of factors that heighten its vulnerability. Heavy rainfall, a defining characteristic of the region's climate, is a primary driver. During the wet season, the downpours can be torrential, saturating the ground faster than it can drain. This excess water increases the weight of the soil, placing immense pressure on the slopes. The very composition of the soil in Gofa adds another layer of complexity. The region's soil, largely made up of volcanic ash and loose sediments, is inherently unstable. These fine particles, when dry, can be easily mobilized by wind and water. When wet, they become heavy and prone to slippage, especially on steep slopes. Deforestation, often driven by the need for agricultural land and firewood, further exacerbates the problem. When forests are cleared, the protective barrier they provide is lost, leaving the soil exposed to the erosive forces of wind and rain. The impact of landslides on the Gofa region is multifaceted, leaving scars not only on the landscape but also on the lives and livelihoods of its inhabitants. These events, often sudden and unpredictable, can cause widespread devastation, impacting everything from infrastructure to food security. One of the most immediate and visible impacts is the damage to infrastructure. Roads, often the lifeline of rural communities, can be blocked or washed away, cutting off access to essential services and markets. Homes and buildings, often ill-equipped to withstand the force of a landslide, can be destroyed or damaged, displacing families and disrupting lives. The impact on agriculture, the backbone of Gofa's economy, can be devastating. Fertile farmland, painstakingly cultivated over generations, can be buried under tons of mud and debris, rendering it unusable. While the threat of landslides in Gofa is a stark reality, it is not insurmountable. By understanding the factors that make the region vulnerable, we can work towards mitigating the risks and building resilience within communities. This involves a multi-pronged approach combining scientific knowledge, community engagement, and sustainable land management practices. One of the key strategies is to improve early warning systems by monitoring rainfall patterns, soil moisture levels, and other key indicators, scientists can identify areas at high risk of landslides and issue timely warnings to communities. This allows for timely evacuations, reducing the risk of casualties. Investing in weather forecasting technologies and establishing effective communication channels with local communities is crucial in this regard. Simultaneously, we need to focus on sustainable land management practices. This includes promoting afforestation efforts and reforestation efforts to stabilize slopes and reduce soil erosion. By integrating these measures, we can work towards a safer future for the Gofa region.